Have you ever struggled to find a way in your life? Struggled to find joy and balance. Those are two things that we hear a lot. Two buzzwords, if you will, in the mental health world and just overall. Joy and balance. I'm going to introduce to you something that some of you may have heard of. It's called the GLAD technique. The GLAD technique is a technique that works by paying attention to certain positive aspects of our life that are around you all of the time, but frequently go unnoticed. It's something that I talk about a lot, and maybe I don't, put it into words very well, but being able to draw in from your surroundings a lot of reasons to be happy and find some balance in your life. It's a skill, which is a good thing, because even if you're not very good at it, a skill means that you can work on it and get better. So this is a skill, the GLAD technique. So to begin with the GLAD technique, we're going to look over each of the letters that make up the word GLAD. And then we're going to use these guidelines that'll detail for you for each letter, okay? So we're going to start with the letter G. G in the GLAD technique stands for gratitude. So one, gratitude. And the thing with the GLAD technique is for each of these four things, because GLAD's a four-letter word, the goal is to find one of these each day. So it's a daily habit. One gratitude that you're thankful for today. And this is probably my favorite one. So your G, your gratitude, it can represent the most basic gratitude. Okay? It doesn't have to be grand things we're grateful for, such as food or water, a body that works well for you, a roof over your head, etc., stuff like that. Some of the things I think of when I'm grateful for are a bed to sleep in, a roof over my head, clean water and food, and not having to worry about if I'm going to have an opportunity to do what I love every day. Those are things I'm grateful for every day. Your gratitude might be about appreciating those truly significant things in your life as well, such as a devoted relationship or meaningful work, a caring friend, robust health that it allows you to experience life to the fullest, etc. So any little thing, maybe even things that you didn't even think to be grateful for. And if it helps you can write these things down every day, maybe in like a journal or something. The L, move on to the next one. The L in GLAD stands for learning. So one thing you learned today. This can be something you learned about yourself, such as noticing an insight or a wisdom that you possess. It could mean having an open attitude so that you can discover something new and interesting about another person. And it just might have to do with learning a new fact or gaining a new perspective on something. That might make you happy because it's fun to be curious and it's fun to learn. So again, the big takeaway here is it doesn't have to be grand. It can just be a very small little thing. Maybe just a fun fact you learned about somebody. Anything that shows that you acquired something new today in your mind. And hopefully if you do this enough and it becomes a habit, you'll start to realize it is quite fun to be curious, and maybe you'll go out of your way to ask your own questions and kind of bring this one to yourself a lot every day, learning something. The A in the GLAD technique stands for accomplishment. So one small accomplishment you did today. This is a big one. Often we mistakenly believe that an accomplishment has to be something supersized. In truth, an accomplishment can be that ordinary act of self-care that you did for yourself or someone else. Examples might be getting enough sleep, not skipping meals, or doing anything that moves you even slightly towards a long-term goal. I know this one can be extra challenging for people who are depressed or kind of battle depression, because it not only feels like they don't get a lot done, especially the things they want to do, but it feels like they can't. Because depression's very good at that. It's very good at making you feel like you can't do things. So even just recognizing a small, tiny little accomplishment, even if it was staying hydrated throughout the day, or maybe you got out of your bed at least once, or maybe you brushed your teeth or washed your face or something. I know life can be hard, but every day we have an opportunity to prove to ourselves that we have what it takes. And if you're ever at the bottom of the barrel, or it's very, very hard for you to do that, maybe just start with one tiny little thing and writing it down, or just trying to remember it. And you can remind yourself, well, maybe I feel terrible today, but at least I got that thing done today, and I can do more tomorrow. And the last thing, the last letter in the GLAD technique is delight. So one thing of delight that touched you today. So you can consider anything that makes you laugh or smile, or really anything that brings you joy. This can be a thing of beauty that you notice during the day, such as hearing a bird chirp, maybe tasting some delicious food, or returning a smile. Any small thing that managed to make its way to your heart and put a little smile on your face. When I talk about this technique, it's not medical advice, but what I can tell you is that I love this technique because it makes things, it gives you something to do that's relatively easy. It's relatively easy to do. It's not meant for you to challenge yourself or push yourself. This is really a record keeping. If you can look at it like that, it's just identifying again. So one gratitude you're thankful for today, one new thing that you learned, one small accomplishment, and then one thing of delight that touched you today. It can be so small. It can be so small. It can be a chance to play with your pet, made you smile, maybe a joke you heard. An accomplishment doesn't have to be grand. It could just be getting out of bed, maybe putting on your shoes today, taking a shower, getting some food for yourself. Anything that you learned could be just a small little fact. Could just be a new perspective you'd gained on something. And then one little gratitude. It could be a truly significant thing, again, like a caring friend or robust health or a devoted relationship or maybe a meaningful job or something. Or it could be something really small, like just having food and water and a bed to sleep in, a roof over your head. Can the accomplishment be doing it? Yes, it can be. Yes, it can be. Because you're trying something new to increase your joy and balance in your life. So I encourage you at any point in time to use a journal or a mobile app or even just an index card to record each of these things daily. And at the end of the week, you'll be able to look back and see some of the things that captured your attention and brought you joy. Let me encourage you to be disciplined and structured about completing these every single day rather than faking it, because by the end of the week, you'll find that you're going to be much more alert to the pleasures of life that exist around you all of the time. All of the time. So this was the first part of the therapy. And the second part is something that is kind of just a literal tool for you to use if you've ever felt anxious or if you suffer from panic attacks or any intense fear or discomfort that kind of locks you up. I know a lot of people around these parts in the stream have told me that anxiety is something that you struggle with, and it kind of prevents you from being able to enjoy your life and do the things you want to do and accomplish your goals. So today I'm going to provide to you something called positive states. And these positive states are really simple, easy to understand mantras that I encourage you to either write down or maybe clip, and you'll be able to use in your everyday life. You don't have to have panic attacks or anything like that. But anytime that you feel like you're struggling with any kind of anxiety or maybe you just need kind of a positive reminder about yourself and about the world around you to help you kind of regain control a little bit, because that's what anxiety is all about at the end of the day, is kind of lose this sense of control and things in our world and our mind kind of go haywire. We are not able to rest in the security that everything is truly okay. So let's get started with those. I have quite a few of these, so we're just going to kind of go through these. I hope that these words can be valuable to you. These are the positive states to keep calm during panic, or to keep calm in general, or to regain a sense of calmness during any anxious moment you might have, panic or not. Okay, here we go. Remember, these are words that you can say to yourself, and sentences for you just to kind of focus on and breathe, and hopefully you can find some peace in it and some grounding. So, okay. All right, here we go. The first one, this cannot harm me. Scary feelings, scary thoughts, all that's going on. Just telling yourself, this cannot harm me. This is just a scary moment. I will get through this. This cannot harm me. The next one. I can still function normally, even if it's uncomfortable. I can still function normally, even if it's uncomfortable. Next one, to tell yourself when things feel scary or panicky or you're anxious, like you might lose control. Nice and simple. This will pass. The feelings that you have going on inside of you will not be there forever. This will pass. This will pass, and you will remain after it passes, and everything will be all right. This will pass. Next one. Remember, allow, do not resist. Allow, do not resist. Oftentimes, when we have anxious feelings or anxious moments, we try to employ all of our resources internally to combating that this is happening to us. And without even realizing it, we add more fuel to the fire doing that. Allowing yourself to feel these feelings familiarizes you with the experience. It gives you an opportunity to train yourself to learn that everything is going to be okay. Let them happen. Do not try to stop them in your mind. Allow these feelings. They are normal. They need not be rejected. They're a part of our experience. It's not realistic for anxiety to be 100% gone, but we can get it to maybe, 50% gone, or even 40 or 30% gone. That would be an improvement, and we can work our way up to learning to cope with things really well. But we must allow these feelings. We can't resist them. Next one. I can lean on my breathing. Sometimes when we experience panic or anxiety, we often get frantic. It's almost like we feel like we're drowning, and we're flailing around, and we're reaching out for anything that'll provide us stability. But one of the best tools we have to kind of regain ourselves and become stable during anxious or panic moments is our breathing. So we're telling ourselves, I can lean on my breathing. We do much better when we're fully oxygenated. I can lean on my breathing. A lot of advice you hear for anxiety and panic coping is to breathe. It's just focus on your breathing, and that will help bring us back to a place of control and some peace. Next one. I have the ability to make the big things small and the heavy things light again. A lot of times with anxiety and panic moments, we catastrophize things. The worst possible outcome, and things that we are normally able to cope with and are not very, very large become quite large problems. or things that become very, very heavy that we're normally able to cope with. Or, I'm sorry, things that are normally quite light become very heavy. So reminding yourself, I've done this before, and I can do it again. I have this ability to make the big things small and the heavy things light again. Next one. I can allow these feelings to happen without fighting them. This one is very closely tied to the allow, do not resist. Can allow these feelings to happen without fighting them. If you spend too much energy fighting, you'll not have enough energy to allow these feelings to resolve, and they will overcome you. And we don't want that. Allow these feelings to happen without fighting them. I do not need to do it all. There's another one. You do not need to be perfect. You do not need to feel perfect. You do not need to exist, act, or behave in any particular way during a panic attack or an anxious moment. You can allow the things that are going on inside of you to happen, and you can breathe. You can breathe and remind yourself that these will pass, as if they are a storm to weather, and maybe, just maybe at some point, you'll feel comfortable enough to explore the ways in which you are able to cope with them without needing to fight them. But you do not need to do everything. Perfectionism is your enemy. This one's one of my personal favorites. This seems scary, but I am always safe. This seems scary, but I am always safe. Some of the worst parts of anxious moments or panic attacks are the physical side effects. The heart palpitations, the blood pressure skyrocketing, the sweating, the getting dizzy, the tunnel vision. It makes for a very, very, very scary moment. But all of the things going on cannot harm you if you do not let them. This seems scary, but I am always safe. If you allow these feelings to happen, you will get through it. Things will feel better, and you will be okay. The feeling that we're in danger is one of those reactions that we have as humans, fight or flight response, and that is what causes us to feel scared, feel very scared and as if we're in danger. So remember, I feel scary, but I'm always safe. Next one. I can cope. This is nice and simple. I can cope. I can cope. Because you can. You can cope. You must believe that you can cope. You must believe that you are not helpless. It can feel very, very helpless when you feel as if you're in danger. And you're employing all of your internal resources to fight the feelings. But you can do this. You can learn. You can allow these feelings. And you can see that on the other side of the storm, you come out just fine. You got this. You can cope. Allow, let go, and let time pass is the next one. Got just a couple more of these. Allow, let go, and let time pass. Sometimes the physical experience that we have when we have anxious moments or panic attacks goes on for what seems like forever. But allowing the feelings that are going on and not gripping to them too tightly on the inside will allow us to be an observer of our feelings rather than in the middle of them. We can observe what is going on safely from the sidelines and see ourselves outside of the crazy whirlwind of panic or anxiety that's going on inside of us. Remember these words. Allow these feelings. Do not fight them. Let go of them. And let time pass. You will heal as time passes. Sometimes, the things that we don't like feeling the most, anger, anxiety, sadness, they would be well on their way outside of us and gone if we just let them go. But oftentimes we feel a need to engage with these feelings and they stick around longer for that reason. Allow yourself to learn to let go of the feelings and move on. Do not linger in your mind or the effect they had on you. I agree. Taking meds for mental illness is not weakness or a failure. Sometimes we cannot produce brain chemicals, our own brain chemicals at the level we need them. Store-bought is just fine. Store-bought is just fine. This is only anxiety. This is only anxiety. Telling ourselves something like this will help us, again, be on the outside of our experience. Sit on the sidelines while we watch what's going on. We allow and we let go of these feelings. And we let time pass. This is only anxiety. Remember, let go. Don't fight. Let go of these feelings. Do not fight them. The whirlwind of panic and anxiety going on inside of you is a mighty, mighty beast that is only going to become more enraged the more you engage with it. Allow yourself to step outside of yourself. Let go of the feelings. They are scary. And every sense inside of us is going to tell us to engage with it. And it makes us feel very scared when whether we do or we don't engage with it. So remember this mantra. Let go, don't fight. Okay, 2 more. This is my favorite one. I can let go of the struggle and trust that I am safe. I can let go of the struggle and trust that I am safe. When we are struggling with panic moments or anxious moments or really anything in life, we sort of let our experience be defined by those things that are causing a struggle. And when we are struggling with anything, really, what's the first thing we look for in struggle? We look for relief. Through pain, through stress, through anxiety, through depression, through any struggle, we look for relief. We look for relief. We can let go of the struggle and trust that we are safe in these moments. And if you trust that you are safe and you allow these feelings to happen, you will come out on the other side and see that you are not harmed, that you made it through, that everything is going to be okay. I can let go of the struggle and trust that I am safe. And the last one, this anxiety cannot last. It simply can't. Nothing ever truly, truly lasts, right? And least of all, the anxiety that we feel in an anxious moment or a panicked moment. This anxiety cannot last. So we don't need to worry about clinging on to it too much. And we can remember that as we're weathering the storm during a panicked or anxious moment, that everything will be okay soon, if only we remember to allow these feelings to let go and to let time pass. Ladies and gentlemen, NBs, and everyone beyond in between, this has been Positive States to Keep Calm During Panic. And this has been your therapy session with Shrek. I hope you enjoyed. I was being very serious when I said that I prepared it, and I've been very, very excited to share not just the story or an anecdote while screaming in Mario Kart, but I've been very excited to sit down and share on the ground some tools and some techniques that have not only helped me during scary moments, but like the GLAD technique that we talked about earlier, have helped me find joy and balance in my own life. And essentially led me to everyone here, because without being able to cope as I'm able to now with anxiety and panic, and without finding the gratitude, the learning, the accomplishment, and the delight in my life that the GLAD technique helped me identify, I don't know that I would have started streaming, and I don't know that I would have been able to find such an effective way to to share the light that I have in the darkness of this world like I'm able to now. So thank you for being here and for allowing me to do that. I hope I did an okay job, and hopefully some of this experience you can take with you wherever you go, even if this is the last time we'll ever meet, or the last time you'll ever see or hear anything from me. I hope no matter where you go or what you do in life, you can take some of these things with you. No strings attached. It's all free, and you can live a happier, better life. Because that is the dream, the effect that I can have on anyone that I might meet in this life. I hope I can do that. And I hope I was able to do that today. So thank you for letting me do that.